Good afternoon, traders. It's he again. As luck would have it, I was getting ready to go out and take a swim. Figured most of this day is done, and it started to rain. We haven't had rain in weeks, and we need it. So I figured I'll do one more update and then relax a bit. This is a 5-minute RTH chart. And I usually follow the green line, then the red line, and then the blue line. Very rarely will you kick through 3 lines at a time. Blue line supportive, said 94 we would look at as supportive, as a trailing stop using this idea of the blue line support. Obviously, we've had a monster day that's really an outlier day. Here was our IB high. 89.25. This was our initial target for the day, and then figured anything above 92 would be gravy. Took a walk, and at lunchtime, this thing just kind of floated higher. So you come back in after taking a little time off and say, what do I want to do? Some traders obviously are set up to just hold on to trailers and let things go while they're taking walks or doing whatever, but I prefer to be flat and then reassess when I get back, if I get back. You never know what comes up. That's the beauty of this market. You can choose when you want to play. So looking at this chart, when you come back, you say, okay, well, this has got to be support through here, this 94 to 92. You look for your next target. So 0.25 showed up as a potential target. So that's what we called for that next to the 0.2. So this base needs to get broken first before anything else to start to unravel the late longs. And everybody loves to jump on and pile on when the trade becomes obvious. And that's usually when it's time to be a lot more cautious. We see people talking about ripping higher and whatever, but in my opinion, these are the late longs are always obviously at 35 to 40 points higher than where we were. Certainly a very tough trade to start to initiate new longs here and certainly cackle about it. Early on in the day was the time to spot support and say I think it's a long side trade and go with the flow. Primary chart for Globex is the 15. We can look and see how we held overnight. That's 65 area, yesterday's low. We held that 57 zone. Once we got the breakout today, multiple breakout, it's off to the races. Everybody piled in, obviously, followed the trajectory of the 15-minute green line. You can see we're ahead of ourselves here. End of day, you want to make sure, especially if you're a day trader, make sure you get paid. We said you'll probably leave chips on the table on a day like today, because who knows where that ultimate target is, where it turns around and starts the rotation south side. And here's the 30-minute Globex, which we said yesterday was a chart that we were using in play. And you can just see how this took off today and has hugged the 15 and the 30. These are our primary charts for the Globex range. And certainly they were very, very powerful today. And we look at a multiple breakout chart. We took off above this 71 zone, poked its head up. Found a trend line I put on yesterday. I wanted to see where potential support on a diagonal might come in. And once we broke this 71, it just took off and off to the races. First target back here in that 91 area. And then obviously on top of it, the next line, the yellow line at the 0.25. So if you've had a great day, make sure you get paid. Don't get cute. If you don't have profits from the long side, it's really tough to justify taking a short. And if you're using typical standard deviation bands or some kind of an envelope system, you can just see how we've run up like a Keltner on the upside. And that's why these are, once we start to run up on the outside, you have to give it some time to go sideways before you even think about it plunging and coming back through. So today, most important to observe stop loss rules. If you're trying to short and pick areas you thought it might turn, give it a couple of times, and then have your stop loss rule where you say, you know, this is not working. I'm not going to be out of sync and make a mess of my account from being emotional and stupid in any one day. spread out that emotionalism over several days rather than just one. Follow your lead from the larger time frames, and then it gets easier to find out where potential targets and next resistance zones might be. This is E signing off for eminywizard.com and marketwizards.com.